connect together through the Toastmaster world with more people, which makes it a beautiful time, actually.
Yes, that's the brighter side of COVID-19. You can say that. So Assalamu alaikum, Najam sir. How are you? Toastmaster Najam, you're not clearly audible.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Assalamu
Walaikum.
alaikum.
How are you,
brother?
GQ?
Alhamdulillah. Doing very well. How are you guys doing?
Assalamu alaikum, ETM Talha. How are you?
Tala sir, why your name is showing Najam Rizvi?
Actually, I have logged in through my laptop as well as my mobile cell for because the audio is much better with the mobile.
It seems that your voice is duplicating or just repeating
Oh,
because of the duplicate devices.
okay, then is it better now?
Perfectly fine.
Yes, yes. I think you can mute from one
Yes,
device.
I muted one device. I have muted one device.
We have Javed.
So, I think Talha bin Hamid Saab, you have renamed yourself as Najam Rizvi.
Prof-
Now, you can tell the difference now.
Yes, yes, yes. TM Raza Khan, can you hear me?
we have Toastmaster Hari from Canada. Toastmaster Hari, how are you?
Hi there, I'm good. How are
to see
you?
Good. Same here. Good to have you.
So thank you very much. Glad to be part of the meeting.
Yeah, please give us your brief introduction.
Yeah, it was so sudden. I was thinking how to come up with. Okay, I'm a master's in computer science student at Dalhousie University, Canada, and currently pursuing my first year over there. And I worked at Wipro Limited as a software engineer for 3 years as a tester. And some of my hobbies are cooking, watching movies, and making digital posters.
Okay, that's great. In nowadays in COVID-19 situation, washing dishes is part of one of the chores of
Your daily life.
us nowadays. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, indeed.
Also, in order to manage your spouse. Personal management, time management, spouse management. We all are going through these learnings these days.
Yep.
Hello, TM Reza, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello, TM Reza.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, actually, the background behind you is more brighter than your foreground. So your face is looking very dark. If you can manage, you can just revert this situation. And you can put your laptop or mobile on the window side, and you stand in front of that window which is showing
Okay,
sunlight.
I do change.
Just
Give me
flip,
2
just
minutes.
flip. Okay.
Give me 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes.
We have Rabia Javed, VP Education. Toastmaster Rabia Javed, please. Could we have your brief introduction?
Hello everyone. This is Rabia and I'm from Taiwan.
Taiwan. Great.
Yeah, and it's my first time with you guys. Yeah.
Good to have you.
Thanks.
Assalamu alaikum, DTM Talha. How are you? Arshad Khan, how are you?
TM Talha, please unmute your mic. GTM Talha?
Yeah. Yes. Hello, everyone.
I'm fine. Hi.
Hi, Talha.
Hi, Tala.
So,
Yeah,
how is
Tala.
everyone doing?
Why you Tala? Your name comes like here as a Najam Rizvi.
Yeah, actually, it's a long and complicated story, but Najam Rizvi, Najam Rizvi Saab is actually our area director, and so we are using his account to actually host this meeting because he has the paid Zoom account. And
Okay.
the even funnier thing is that there are two Najam Rizvis in this meeting. One is actual Najam Rizvi, and one is myself. Okay.
So Najam, just for my curiosity, is it a Zoom is a paid thing or it's a free?
It's free for 45 minutes, but after that, you have to use a paid account.
Okay.
You can set up a free account, but that's limited to, I think, 45 minutes.
And I think the live streaming is not available on the free account, isn't it?
No, it's not. No, it's
No.
not.
Okay.
Toastmaster Abid, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fantastic.
Great. Would you like to be table topic evaluator?
For today,
Yeah.
I think I have to be a little bit, busy in all other things also. So if you don't mind, can you pass it to somebody else?
Okay. Toastmaster Talma,
Yes.
we would like you to be the table topic evaluator.
Okay.
Okay. Toastmaster Arshad,
Hello,
Assalamu alaikum, Toastmaster Arshad, how are you?
I am fine.
And you are the word of the day.
Sorry, word of the day.
Yeah.
Word master.
Yeah, word master. All the role holders are here, so can we start or should we wait for
I
a few
think
minutes?
we should start. If we have all the role holders, we should start.
Mm,
Is Saad here? Imran Saab? Saad
Toastmaster
Shoaib is.
Sashweb just messaged me. He said that he will be here in 3 to 2 minutes.
And अभी तो यार ये है ना.
Tariq Masood.
Hello. Should I keep it over here? Is it visible?
What's
Is,
this?
is
Yeah,
it visible? I've written something over
yeah.
here. I want to show it. Huh?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's visible.
Yes, it is.
Dramatic worldview. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you testing our eyesight or something?
No. I'm testing myself.
Okay.
Toastmaster Pakar Nazar, word master is Toastmaster Arshad Khan. Please correct it in your agenda. And
Hello.
yes, Arshad Khan.
Today's word is pragmatic.
Okay, corrected.
Okay. When
Pragmatic.
you were asked, so you can define your role and also you can announce the word of the day. So
वो भी कर लो यार. नहीं वो होगा नहीं क्योंकि you need a blue.
shall we start?
I think we should start.
Okay. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, a very good evening. A very good afternoon, and welcome you to another exciting meeting of Karachi Toastmasters Club. Before starting, let's have a brief introduction of what Toastmasters International is all about. Toastmasters International is a non-profit organization established in 1926 by Dr. Ralph Smedley. It focuses on leadership and communication skills through different educational programs called pathways. Currently, we have 11 pathways. The vision of Toastmasters International is to create effective communicators and good leaders. With that, let's have a brief introduction from our guest today. Our first guest is Toastmaster Chaz. So I request you to please give us your brief introduction.
Yes, my name is Chaz Perez, and I'm from Las Vegas in the United States. And I'm super happy to be here and watch how you guys run your program and learn. And I love meeting new friends, of course. I'm president of Speakers and Leaders of Summerlin Toastmasters. Here we have about 90 clubs in Las Vegas. And I've been part of Toastmasters for about 2 years. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Chaz. We are super happy to have you with us in today's meeting. So moving on to our next guest from Taiwan, Toastmaster Rabia, VP, VPPR. You were VP Education and then you switched to VPPR. Okay, Toastmaster Rabia, please give us your brief introduction.
Hello everyone, this is Rabia and I'm from Taiwan. Well, I've been in Toastmasters for around 2 years and I'm really pleased to be here with you guys today. Well, I used to live in Pakistan before, so I was like really glad that if in future I'll go to Pakistan, I may will join you guys there in Karachi. Yeah. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll be more than happy to welcome you. And moving on, we have another guest from Canada, Toastmaster Hari Prashad. So, Toastmaster Hari, could we have your brief introduction?
Thank you, Toastmaster Imran. Hello, everyone. My name is Hari Prashant, and I'm currently pursuing Master of Computer Science in Canada. I was a Toastmaster for past 3 years, served in 2 clubs. I have served as club's president, VPPR, VPA, and I'm currently serving as a VPPR of Dal Toastmasters Club at my college. It's a college club. I have a passion for public speaking, and I find it's the best way to pass the weekend joining a Toastmaster meeting. That's why I'm here. I'm so curious part of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Hari Prashant. Good to have you. We have another guest, Suraksha. Suraksha, could we have your brief introduction? Okay, I think we can't hear her. So, let's officially begin our today's meeting. Yes. Our Toastmaster of the day is a debutant Toastmaster. He is a teacher, educator, and school management consultant. He loves traveling and making new friends. He also provides pro bono consulting to various NGOs working in educational sector. Please welcome Toastmaster Bakar Raza.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Uh, Welcome everyone to be the part of this learning journey. Dear Toastmasters, since we are going through an adverse phase of lockdown caused by COVID-19, let me share you how adversities affect us. Actually, adversities does not affect us, but how we respond to it really matters. Our response to them make us what we are. If we become proactive responder who remain positive in dealing with these situations, it increases our stability and immunity. Being a Toastmaster, we all deserve a round of applause to be the part of the collective success of everyone. So let me introduce these segments of our Toastmaster meeting. We have three segments in our Toastmaster meeting. The first segment is about the prepared speeches, in which speakers who have already prepared these speeches and given an allotted time are requested to present their speeches, and their predefined evaluators are observing them and will give the feedback in the third session. The second segment is regarding the table topic session, in which the table topic master introduces the session and asks the random speakers from the audience to give impromptu speeches on the given topic. The third segment is evaluation session, in which the journal evaluator first of all explain what evaluation is all about, and then invite prepared speeches evaluators. Each prepared speech evaluator give the evaluations of their prepared speakers within uh, around 3 minutes per speech time, and then another table topic evaluator comes, and the table topic evaluator evaluates the whole table topic speeches session. In the last, the reports from the role holders or the facilitator will be presented, in which wordmaster, grammarian, super grammarian, R counter, and timer, they present the report, and in the conclusion, the votes or the winning people will be announced by vote counter. So it's all about the flow of meeting, that how we conduct our meeting in Toastmasters. Now I request the facilitators one by one to present their role. So first of all, I request the word master of today's meeting, Mr. Muhammad Arshad, to come forward and explain his role or responsibilities. TM Arshad.
Hello. Hello. Assalamu alaikum. I am TM Arshad Khan. Uh, Today we have words pragmatic. Pragmatic with dealing with things sensibly and realistically. It's a better time to use all the prepared speech contester or a table talk user these words, and I will count who will use. Thank you.
Okay, our next role holder is grammarian, which is performed by TM Najam Rizvi.
Assalamu alaikum. As a grammarian, I'll be watching out for the good usages of the English language, like idiomatic expressions or something which is attractive, which something we can learn from. And I'll also be trying to note any suggestions for better usages of terms or words or construction of sentences. So that's my role.
Okay, our next role is super grammarian, which is performed by TM Javed Bhatti.
Hello everyone. As a super grammarian, I'll be testing your listening skills, and I'll be noting down some interesting sentences or phrases. And at the end of the meeting, I'll ask everyone who is the actual speaker of that sentence. The person who actually said that is requested to stay silent. That's about it.
Okay, for the role of R counter, we have Madam Toastmaster Navinta here. Please brief your role.
Hello everyone. Today my role is R counter, so I'll be noticing down all the filler sounds and overused words such as and inappropriate interjections as well. And in the end, I'll tell everyone that about these filler words to everyone. Thank you.
Okay. Keeping the check on time is very important in Toastmasters meeting. So we have another role, which is timer, and the role is performed by our president, TM Imran Rana.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day. Hello, everyone. I'm the timer today. My role is to make sure that the meeting proceedings are on time. There will be different timing for different segments. For table topic, the speaker has to speak for about 1 minute to 2 minutes and 30 seconds. At 1 minute, I'll show the green card. At 1 minute 30 seconds, I'll show the yellow card. At 2 minutes, I'll show the red card. And at 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I'll just clap. That means 2 minutes and 30 seconds is over and the speaker is disqualified for voting. Same procedure will be repeated for prepared speeches, but their timing segments is from 5 to 7 minutes. And if there's an icebreaker speech, then it goes from 4 to 6 minutes. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Okay, our next role is vote counter, which is performed by TM Saad Shoaib. TM Saad, are you
Thank you
here?
very much. Yeah, yes. So my role will be to ask for votes after every segment of the meeting. So after every segment, I'll be sending a link on WhatsApp for you all to vote, and those who don't have the access to the WhatsApp can just private message me on the Zoom chat. That's about it.
Okay, thank you, Saad. In the last but not the least, we have another role of joke master, and this role is performed by our beloved Toastmaster Asghar Ramzan.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening, to love me. A dad or a father died somewhere. The mother and children were attending the funeral. The pastor was saying, pragmatic pastor, in fact, was saying a nice thing about the departed soul. You know, he kept on and on saying so many good things that finally the mother nudged one of her boys and whispered, Johnny, go up and look in the casket and see if that is your daddy. Over to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Okay, thank you, Azhar Saab, for the very lovely introduction or the initiation of this meeting. So now let's move towards the first segment, which is the prepared speeches segment.
Toastmaster Parker.
Yes.
Today we are going to have table topic session first. Sorry for
Okay, first of all, we have table topic.
Yes.
So let's move to our first session of this meeting, which is table topic session, and let me invite the table topic master of today's meeting, who is a very good orator, and he is also the instructor of IELTS, and he's a very good teacher and trainer of language. So let's welcome TM Zishan Khan for the table topic session.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. People who have connected all across the globe, my greetings to you. Welcome to Pakistan Karachi Toastmasters Club. And the the table topics, the ones which gives you surprises, which gives you annoyance, and more of a pragmatic kind, and it definitely puts you on your toes. I do not know whom to pick up, and I do not know where to start, but I have some slides prepared for you. So each slide I will share it first. I'll recite the topic, and then I'll point out the individual. So get ready. Are you guys ready? Give me a thumbs up, that would be nice. That's good. Okay. So the next topic, the first topic I'd say, I have an eye on this individual who's from, where is he? Mr. Chaz, would you like to participate? I'm sure you would.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Your topic is, if you were famous, what industry would you like to be famous in? Let me repeat. If you were famous, what industry would you like to be famous in? The stage is yours.
Thank you, Topics Master. I've been waiting my whole life for somebody to ask me this question. The industry in which I will choose to be famous in, if I could, would be a linguist. Only in my dreams could I speak Urdu, Hindi, well, you know, Arabic, Spanish, Chinese, Mandarin, Thai. And the reason why I would like to be a professional linguist and be known for speaking the most languages in all of history is because I love communication. And I feel like good communication is the secret to world peace. Listening and talking and listening and talking. Thank you, Topics Master.
Fabulous. Like the next topic is, let me see, the topic is this, and Miss Rabia, are you ready? Miss Rabia Javed, VPPR, Taiwan. The topic is,
Sure.
where is the topic here? What are some fun things you could do in zero ground or ground zero? Oh, sorry, ground zero gravity, my apologies, not ground zero. What are some fun things you could do in zero gravity, where you could fly, you know? The stage is all yours.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, I have never think about it or thought about this before. Well, as we all know that in space, up in space, it's all like zero gravity. And it used to be one of my dreams to be a, astronaut, go up and enjoy all up there. But what I will do, what fun things I'll do is maybe go with some of my besties and enjoy there, maybe play some stuff like do some crazy things. Well, I have no idea about that. And yeah, just to enjoy and feel that. That's all. Thank you.
That's very nice. Thank you very much for your participation. Next up, we have Mr.
Toastmasters Ishan.
Yes.
Let me repeat the table topic timing once again. Speaker has to speak for about 1 minute.
Oh,
from 1 minute to 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So at 1 minute, if the speakers speak less than 1 minute, so he won't be qualified for voting. Could you please repeat the time?
I will just highlight it. Yes, please. Okay. My apologies. I should have done that before. So
also repeat the word of the day.
Okay, so the word of the day is pragmatic, and I'm sure the meaning that is there for you, it's clear. And the table topic timing for you to qualify is 1 minute. For you to stay in that qualification paradigm, it's 2 minutes, and 2 minutes 30 seconds is just a grace period, and 31st second you're disqualified. Is that right? All good? Okay, so the next topic is for Mr. Tariq Masood. Mr. Tariq Masood, are you ready?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And there you go. It's a difficult one though. So if you were stranded in an island, on an island for eternity, name one book or CD you would need to have in your possession. I'll repeat it. If you were stranded on an island for eternity, name one book or CD you would need to have in your possession. The stage is yours.
First of all, I need a guidebook on how to make boats. The thing is that uh, I love questions like these, but the thought of being on an island is really cool. But I am not really a bookish person, nor do I always wanted to go to islands to live away from humans. I, it was like it is one of my dreams, like after being astronaut, and that's it. Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you very much. Where is this one? Just bear with me. I'm just trying to see the most, should I say, the person who's actually trying to hide behind their camera. I'm looking out, trying to find out that individual. How about yes, Mr. Haripur, Mr. Hari Prasad. My apologies. Are you ready?
Sure.
Very good. So your topic is, when and where do you feel most like your real self? When and where do you feel most like your real self? Your time is 1 minute minimum, 2 minutes, and 2:30 maximum. Please.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and my dear guests. My topic for today is when and where you feel your most real self. I would say the place where I feel my real self is a Toastmaster meeting. In a Toastmaster meeting, I get a chance to express myself without being critiqued, without being stones at. Toastmasters Club is a place where we evolve in a constructive feedback. We give speeches, we take roles, we get constructive feedback in return, and then we grow with that. I was an introvert back in college. I do not have many friends back then. And later, Toastmaster helped me to learn one important fact of life. If you want to talk and make friends with people, you can go and talk to them. There is nothing wrong. You do not wait for people to come and talk to you. That one thing Toastmaster had taught me, which helped me to evolve into my true self. So special thanks to Toastmasters for giving me such an opportunity. And ending my speech, I would like to again quote that Toastmaster is the place where I feel the most real self. Thank you.
Thank you, splendid. Our next, let me just take the liberty and say, our next victim is Miss Maria Marif, and your topic is if you could eliminate one thing from your daily schedule, what would it be and why?
Considering that, okay, just thinking that if it's not a thing and changing your topic a bit, one emotion or one feeling that I could eliminate from my daily schedule is the stress that I take on a daily basis with regard to my studies. And one more thing that I just could think of is my sleep schedule as well, which is pretty much messed up. Especially during these Ramzan timings, I'm going totally the other way. Instead of sleeping at night and waking up in the morning, I'm sleeping in the morning and waking up almost in the evening timing. So this is one thing that I would want to eliminate from my daily schedule is the irregularities in my sleep cycle, and the amount of stress I take is one habit that you could say that I would like to eliminate, is to not stress upon things and wake up with a positive thought that I would do as much as I can, and then leave the rest instead of stressing on things and worrying about it unnecessarily. So over to the table topics master.
Thank you very much, Mariam. Our next contestant, victim, is TM, none other than TM Mr. Imran Rana, the president of KTC. And the topic is
Toastmasters Zishan.
Yes.
I would suggest you to call president of ICMM Toastmaster. He is Toastmaster Muhammad Imran. Yes.
Muhammad Imran, yes. That's
yes.
Muhammad Imran, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Very good, Muhammad Imran. Muhammad Imran, this is the topic. What is the best compliment you have ever gotten?
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Zishan Khan, the table topic master. Ladies and gentlemen, the topic that I am invited to talk on is that what is the best compliment you have ever gotten? Well, since we are the people who work for social work and who work for the capacity building of the people, so we keep on getting the compliments time and again. But the best ever compliment that I have ever gotten is the real happiness in the face of the other people who could not utter any word due to their huge influx of emotions, due to the problem that was saved, the problem that was removed from them. So perhaps I could say the unspoken compliment was the best compliment that I have ever received, because people try to mingle around the words and try to be exaggerating. But the best compliment, or the real compliment that I would say, is when someone is stunned with the emotions and he or she is not able to talk anything because of huge influx of the emotions. So that was what I had encountered few years ago when I helped someone, and when their problem was removed and they felt relaxed. So they were emotionally stunned enough not to talk even a single word. So that I would think was the best compliment that I have ever seen.
Very nice. Thank you very much, Muhammad Imran, President. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Zishan.
Our next contestant is, let me see. TM Anam Kadri. Anam, Miss Anam, are you ready?
Yes, yes, I am.
Your topic is, if your best friend wrote a book about you, what would the title be? And what about your worst enemy?
Okay, tricky. Okay, fellow Toastmasters and guests, I have a best friend and I met her back when I was in college. At that time, she actually dedicated a song to me, and it was named as If Tomorrow Never Comes. That song was actually about how a person cares about you and how he loves you and how he thinks about you when you're not around. And I think that if she would have ever written a book about me, it would have been titled If Tomorrow Never Comes. Because the care that she had for me, the way that she used to pamper me and she used to take care of everything I liked and disliked, well, actually, that book would have had all the content about that. About the worst enemy. Well, my worst enemy you can think is laziness. I'm very lazy and I tend to take things very slow, even when okay, my husband agrees with me with that because normally whenever I go out for things, I usually opt for the last moment to come up with some ideas or to come up with some content. So you can say that I am very lazy and I want to get rid of that, but that's too strong an enemy for me to give up on. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Over to you.
Thank you. Our next and the last contestant for table topic is none other than TM Deepana. TM, are you ready?
Yes, I'm there.
So your topic is, do you say yes too often when you really want to say no?
Okay. So good afternoon and assalamu alaikum to everybody. The topic I'm assigned is, do you say yes too often when you really want to say no? I feel like no. Whatever I feel, I just speak it out to whoever the next person is, whether it's my parents, whether the teacher, or to the next person who I've just met. Because I believe that what is there in your mind should be there with your tongue. You should not be double-minded. Okay, not even double-minded. Sometimes I guess it's very rare that I don't speak what the reality is, because then it just mingle up all the situation and it goes towards some other direction if you say what you don't feel like. So this is what I always feel, that yeah, if I say the next, in fact I even says that if next person feels a bit bad about me or the dialogue I haven't said is good, so you are welcome to tell me, to correct me. I'll appreciate that and I'll just correct upon that. But please be straightforward, whatever the situation is, whether it's me or the next person who I'm having any sort of relationship with. So keep it clear, keep it simple, and there will be no such worst situation in your life. This is my simple rule. So thank you. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Deepna. Thank you very much, contestants and participants. I'm sure you have enjoyed this table topics, that you guys have put yourself on your toes and spoken. That's the scary part of KTC, Toastmasters meeting, by the way. Anyways, I'll conclude my hosting for this for now, and I'll hand over the baton back to TM Barker, TM of the day. TM, please take over. Thank you very much.
Okay, can timer, can you ask for the,
Has everyone, yes, my apologies. Has everyone qualified? Timer, President Imran.
Only 3 speakers who didn't qualify: Toastmaster Chaz, Toastmaster Rabia, and Toastmaster Guest Mansoos. They didn't qualify. Rest of them are qualified: Toastmaster Hari Prashant, Toastmaster Mariam Arif, Toastmaster Muhammad Imran, Toastmaster Anand Kabri, and Toastmaster Deepna. They are qualified.
Thank you. Thank you. TM Barker, please.
I think we should conduct voting at this moment or in the last.
Vote counter is requested to share the link. In the meantime, we can continue.
Okay, one more request, TM Imran, can you send the names of qualified speakers to the chat, to the Zoom group chat, so that it would be easy for everyone?
Toastmaster Saad will send it.
Yeah. Okay. Toastmaster Saad, please send the name of qualified speakers.
Okay.
Okay, you're not audible.
Toastmaster Bakar.
Sorry. Okay, now let's move towards the second segment of the Toastmaster meeting, which is today we have prepared speeches as a second segment. So let me first of all ask the evaluator of first speaker, and evaluator is TM Ghulam Qadir. TM Ghulam Qadir, can you please brief the project of Mr. TM Ramzan?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'll be evaluating Toastmaster Asghar Ramzan. Asghar Ramzan will be doing a project from the Innovating Planning, Level 1 Research and Planning. His topic is Factfulness. Purpose of his project is for the member to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. Good luck, Toastmaster Asghar Ramzan.
Am I audible? Okay. Mr. President, dear Toastmasters and guests, these days everyone is living under the deep shadow of COVID-19, including our Toastmaster of the evening. We are either stuck up somewhere or staying stuck. In any case, all of us must have been reading, writing, watching about this scourge from all available sources. Of course, I'm no exception. But what is particularly striking in my case was two news items with picture. Number one, news was about a number of the people who were making a queue in front of a gun purchasing shop somewhere in USA. They probably apparently feared that they needed these guns because the society would collapse and the people would come to their home and kill them, and they needed to defend themselves. The second news item was about an innocent woman grabbing all the available toilet paper from a departmental store because she apparently believed that they would be out of stock due to a rising emergency. Like me, all of you must have laughed endlessly about their stupidity and weird action. I, however, stopped laughing as soon as I confronted my third example. My third example was none other than TM Asghar Ramzan. Dear Toastmasters, my future worst case scenario was weirder and more horrible than my two examples are the panic shopper. I was afraid of being deprived of an essential, decent burial when I would die from the COVID-19. This horrible thought psychologically paralyzed me for a week, and I was unable to eat properly, let alone drafting a speech for my club. But, I was not alone. We all three examples are differ in details and scales, but all springs from a single factor, imagining only the worst future impact of the disease. In fact, we all three are not alone. According to a poll conducted by CNN, 25% of the people are grappling with the psychological effect of the pandemic and thinking strangely or doing awkward things. But for me, however, doing nothing was not an option. To calm down my inflaming nerve, I decided to take solace in the psychological literature and tried to find comfort in being engaged with the expert across the world to keep my cool down and to make a peace with myself. And here is a good news. I gradually but successfully overcome what the expert called my over anxiety or anticipatory fear regarding the disease. Let me share some anecdote with you. Due to time constraint, I divided those advices into three broad categories. Number one, according to those experts, is the dramatic world weave. According to Mariana Boggio, a behavioral economist working with European Union, large number of the people misinterpret the fact, even they are in front of them, and then dramatize them disproportionately. And she was not wrong. There were many things to see for me, but I stuck up seeing a picture of a fleet of military vehicle full of dead bodies in front of one of the Italian hospital. This, I dramatized it and scared myself. The second category, those experts says that what I called and brought you is negative instinct. Elspeth Gilbert, an author and psychologist, talking with the TED's founder Chris Anderson, and she said that it is easy to be aware about the bad thing around the world, but it is harder to remember the good things. Aisha Mia, another psychologist from our very Aga Khan hospital, shared a column in Dawn, and she also agreed with it. And she said, among many other things, that when we are afraid, we do not see things clearly and positively. My third contention, and she's right, because I kept on counting the dead bodies rather than the people discharging from the hospital. My last category is we trust our feeling more than our thinking. Author and anthropologist Hans Rowling believes that feeling factor is largely responsible to lead intelligent people, even like T.M. Asghar, to leave their rational thought. And I also agree with her. When I was imagining my burial site, I was feeling the situation rather than thinking rationally about it. And this stopped my thinking faculty and made the matter worse for me. Dear Toastmasters, I really don't know what happened to these panic shopper, but in my case, eventually common sense prevailed. Now, even the worst scenario comes true, I expect something positive out of it. Pandemic, for example, may change the very traditional barrier for all time to come, like so many other things in the post COVID-19 world. And isn't impossible. According to the Weekly Economist, a British magazine, Spanish flu, which killed around 200,000 Britain a century ago, brought an end to the horse-drawn funeral procession that were very much popular in Victorian time. That is quite reassuring historical precedent for me. Over to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Okay, that's great speech by T.M. Asghar Ramzan. Now moving to our next speech, which is to be delivered by our seasoned Toastmaster Raza Khan, and his speech will be evaluated by another a very good speaker and undergraduate students of medical science, and also our award-winning Toastmaster, Madam Toastmaster Mariam Arif.
Okay. So, Toastmaster Raza Khan, this is Advanced Communication Special Occasion Speeches Project 2. The speech is speaking in phrase and the time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. The objective of this speech is that Toastmaster Raza has to prepare a speech in which he praises or honors someone, and that may be someone living or dead. And he has to address 5 areas that are related to that individual, regarding that individual and his or her accomplishments. And he is also supposed to include anecdotes that are supposed to illustrate the points within the speech. So over to Toastmaster Raza Khan, and good luck with this.
Team Raza, you are not audible. Team Raza?
Unmute yourself.
No, I think there is a problem with your this hand free because you are already unmuted. No.
Let's just take it out again.
Yes, yes, it's better now. No, can you please remove this hand free? Then try.
Is it fine?
Yes, yes, it's better now.
That's fine?
Yes, yes, it's better now.
All right, all right. So let's start now.
But try
This
try to
September,
closer.
yeah, that my teacher has left. Someone asked me before that what did your teacher love actually? Fellow Toastmasters and guests, let me clarify the good things, the best things regarding my teacher, who is no more in the world. Number one, he was a man of wisdom. He was less spoken. Whenever he spoke words of wisdom. He was not a traditional person. He was a kind of interactive person. He had many good things. I would like to share only three best things of his personality, step by step. His famous sentence in entire school was, "Don't worry, you will shine one day. Don't worry, you will shine one day." For the best sentence to motivate a person. As you people know, that in grade 6, 7, and 8, most of the students are not interested in studying. So I was the same person. But my teacher tried his level best to motivate others. He wanted to lift people from the ground and coach them and make their minds to work on. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, there are three things I would like to share that my teacher loved the most. The first thing, he loved to lift up people from ground and tries his level best to put them on his side. I still remember on every weekend, he manages to arrange a discussion in our class. The discussion was about burning questions, burning issues, about dignity of work, about school management, about education system, about teachers of our school. What was the criteria of him? On Friday, he arranges this discussion and he asks always backbenchers to speak up. And for those who has been quiet for centuries in our class, he used to call everyone on the stage. He used to hand them over a marker and he used to ask them, kindly write something on the board. Write whatever you want. Write whatever you can. Speak whatever you want. Speak whatever you can. I've got an idea about that. Right now, at this stage as a Toastmaster, I learned that my teacher used to make us practice for table topics. And I asked him after school that, sir, are you a Toastmaster? He said, yes, once I've been a Toastmaster. So I just pay salute to my teacher that he has been a Toastmaster for so long time and I learned so many things. The best thing was he used to make us speak, whether in English, whether in Urdu, whether in any language, so that we can release our fear. Second thing I love the most, and everybody loves, that he wants or he wanted us to share our stories, our personal stories. Let me tell you, very good event. I still remember when we were on our annual picnic in the bus, he decided not to play music. Ask me why. He decided not to play music, but he asked everyone to share stories. There were 50 students in our bus, and one by one, everybody recounted their stories, shared their stories, narrated the good events and moments from their lives. And this is how we kept on learning. He wanted to educate us, not only in our class, but also outside the class. He was a very practical kind of person. He used to give us practical examples. He used to coach us after school. He used to sit with us. One day I was weeping in our class because I did not do my assignment. So he came up to me and he asked me, Raza, what are you doing? Why are you weeping? I shared entire story. He took me to the principal and asked that, sir, he is a regular guy. This is the first time he has not completed the assignment. So kindly release him. Kindly give him extension. He used to help every needy person because he loved the person. Second thing, he loved the stories, he loved sharing the stories. The third thing, the very best thing, and only a doctor can share this thing, but he was not a doctor, he was a teacher. The third thing, he was very conscious about our diet. He was a diet conscious person. My teacher. Let me tell you how. He used to tell me in our class that everyone just mind my word, just mark my words, that food and the diet is for your health. And health comes first because health is wealth. If you are successful to select a better diet for you, in your future, you can take decisions. You can make many decisions in your favor. What a good thing he has shared with us. And he used to tell us that save your pocket money. Don't go out. Don't go out for eating something. Because the food you just get from outside, it is not going to give, it is not going to strengthen your immune system. Try to strengthen immune system so that you can work, you can study, you can move ahead. He was very strict about his diet. I would like to share one good example. Once in a week, he used to come in our class with his lunch box, homemade food. And I was a person asked, sir, may I ask you a question? Yes. He said, why? What? I said, sir, why have you come with your homemade food? You must eat that food in break time. He smiled and said, Raza, this food is made by my mother. And this food is an identity of health. If you come with your lunch boxes rather than eating out, you will be healthy. So mind it, health comes first, not wealth. With the passage of time, we learn the art of selecting diet. We learn the art of telling stories. We learn the art to help others. When he left school after an exam,
7 minutes, 30 seconds over.
we were weeping a lot in our farewell. At the time, I realized that three words from him, that you will shine, you will shine, you will shine. They are very easy and simple and common words. But to shine, you have to work very hard in terms of your diet, in terms of your studies, in terms of moving here and there, in terms of respecting others. This is a very good thing. I would like to share, I would like to pay thanks and homage to my teacher that may Allah give him peace in Jannah. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Okay, that was another wonderful speech by TM Raza Khan, in which he praises his teacher and narrate the story of his teacher. So our next speaker is Toastmaster Hari Prashant from Canada, and his speech will be evaluated by DTM Talha bin Hamid.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the afternoon. We are fortunate to have our guest all the way from Canada, Toastmaster Hari Prashant. And today he will be delivering a project called Inspire Your Audience. And for those of you who have been on the traditional path would remember that this project used to be project 10 of the CC manual, Sweet Memories, but now we are on Pathways. So his speech title is Try Again in a Different Way. The duration is 5 to 7 minutes. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice writing and delivering a speech that inspires others. The purpose of the speech is for the members to inspire the audience. Please, and before I welcome you on the stage, I would just say that you have accomplished the purpose of this project by coming to our meeting and delivering this project already. So please, everyone, put your hands together for Toastmaster Hari Prashant.
When I was a little boy, my father took me to the garden every night to gaze at the stars. During one such night, I asked my dad, Daddy, I want one of those stars. Go ahead, son. I lunged forward, picked up a pebble, aimed for the brightest star in the sky, and I shot the stone. I missed. I ran back to my daddy and told him, Daddy, I could not hit one of those stars. Maybe you're not tall enough to hit the stars, son. Try again. Try in a different way. The next day, I climbed over a 6 foot tall ball. Then I shot the stone. The next week, I climbed over the tallest structure in my street, which is the water tank. Then I shot the stone. I still missed. Toastmasters and my dear guests, in pursuit of your goals, have you ever felt like giving up after failing over and over again? When I was in middle school, I always wanted to score high in my subjects. There are two reasons for that. The first reason is it's always cool to be a topper. The second reason, my mom works as a teacher in the same school. It's a big demon called mathematics, and I was so terrible in managing time. Every time I end up spending more time in multiple choice questions, I end up getting wrong answers. During one such exams, I missed 20 marks straight because I couldn't manage time. I froze in the seat for the next 20 minutes, unable to comprehend what just happened. The night I went to the garden and I started to throw stones at the stars in haste. My dad came and patted on my shoulders and told me, try again in a different way. The next exam, I tried something different. I started to answer big questions first instead of multiple choice questions. I invested only 30 minutes for the multiple choice questions, so I ended up scoring more marks in that exam. I scored 85% in my board exams in mathematics. Counting goals and the number of challenges we come across in our life is similar to counting stars. It's simply too many. We come across so many challenges in various phases of life. 2016, after giving around 50 job interviews and not getting selected in any one of them, I reached a breaking point. I called my dad and I cried, Daddy, I could not find any of the jobs. No employer hired me so far. The sight of unemployment scares me. and I hung up the phone. The next day, my dad came to my college to console me. He again patted on my shoulder and asked me, "Son, in those 50 interviews, have you tried anything different?" They are in the past, but have you tried anything different? After thinking hard, I got an idea. Instead of using the traditional black and white resume, I used color resume instead. I made sure to highlight important aspects of my resume in color, which captivates the HR. The next day, when I showed my resume to the HR, he was baffled. Color resume? I interviewed over 100 guys today. No one cared to put enough efforts into the resume. This is gear. First impression. That first impression helped me to carry forward the rest of the interview easily. I got a job and an internship in one of the beautiful places in India, Kochi. I got a job now. After getting a job, are we the happiest person on earth? No. Challenges gets bigger and bigger. 3 years later, I came to realize this job is not for me. I wanted to chase the stars once more. I wanted to pursue something big. I chased my stars all the way to Canada to pursue Masters in Computer Science. And one such day, I came to realize I was chasing the stars all alone. I wanted someone by my side. And that's a point where I met this beautiful girl. She was so beautiful that I fell from my head over the toes, ended up breaking my back. One day I mustered enough courage to talk to her. I slowly went to her and asked her for a cup of coffee. This was her reply. "Harry, you are a very good friend. You are a decent person. But I have to say no." That day, Toastmasters and my dear guests, what should I do now? Try again in a different way. I chose to try again in a different way through World Championship of Public Speaking in Toastmasters. Someday I wish I get a chance to speak in front of 1,000 people. And when I delivered my speech, I will wait for that one girl to come to me, "Harry, let's have a cup of coffee." Toastmasters, my dear guests, when you come across failures and challenges in your life, and if you ever feel like giving up, always remember to try again in a different way. Try again, try in a different way, and try till you succeed. Over the Toastmasters.
Okay, it was an amazing speech by TM Hari Prashant. Our next speaker is Madam Toastmaster Hiba Rais, and her speech will be evaluated by TM Anam Kadri.
Okay, TM Hiba Rais would be doing her project from the CC manual, which is Project 10, the same as we experienced a minute ago from the pathways. But Hiba Rais is doing it from the CC manual. It's Project 10, Inspire the Audience. The speaker has to inspire the audience professionally, emotionally, spiritually, as well as personally by relying heavily upon emotional appeal. Her speech title is Recycling Should Be Mandatory. Her time duration is 8 to 10 minutes. Over to you, TM Hiba Reis. Best of luck.
Hiba, you are not audible.
Toastmaster Hiba, we cannot hear you. You are not audible. No. No, you're not audible. Can you change a setting on your laptop or something? No, Toastmaster Hiba, you're not audible. I think it has to be a setting on your computer or something.
Can we put Toastmaster Hiba to last and
what could be the
we can
see her?
But we cannot hear her.
I think Toastmaster of the day, we can move on to the next speech while Toastmaster Hiba sorts out the problem.
Okay, okay. I hope somebody could call her and help her in this technical issue. So our next and the fifth speaker is one of the rising star of our Karachi Toastmaster Club, Madam Toastmaster Urusa Mohsin, and her speech will be evaluated by TM Babar Ali Hasnan.
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, yes, you are. TM Babar Ali Hasnan, are you here? Please unmute your mic, TM Babar Ali Hasnan. I just called TM Babar and he is just joining us. Due to some technical issue, he's away from his PC.
There's some problem with the equipment and I'm having a hard time fixing it. Now I'll be evaluating Team Osa Hussain. She is presenting level 4 from presentation mastery. The topic of her speech is Move It. To develop her skills to manage the audience outside Toastmasters Club. changing the facing difficulties from instructors, and let's see how she manages those issues. The time is 10 to 15 minutes. Let's have the speech from PM Arusa.
I can't hear him. Is that a go ahead?
Yes, I think you should go ahead.
So, how many of you believe that exercise is important? How many of you actually follow it and add it in your lifestyle or in your routine? I want to share with you an interesting research. According to Time magazine, 1 out of 4 people don't get enough exercise or don't add it in their lifestyle, which adds up to 1.4 billion people at the risk of developing diseases linked to inactivity. That, my friends, results in an insane amount of people dying just because they could not add any physical exercise in their routines. I don't know if you all are aware, but in 2018, IG Punjab of that time ordered all those fat belly officers to reduce their weight and their bellies and add some exciting healthy food in their lifestyle in order for them to be more healthy and more fit. And I ask you all, why not? After all, these officers are there to protect us. And since they are there to protect
People are
us,
so obsessed about exercise these days.
sorry, come again.
I don't know why people are so obsessed about exercise these days. We cannot get out of our homes. I mean, seriously.
Right.
And it's no fun. It's no fun at all. Like, ask anyone whose idea of fun is exercise. No one. Absolutely none.
Thank you so much. I'm
Actually,
so glad.
I would like to say, being a doctor, that exercise is
Sorry,
very important for our. Being a
Come
doctor,
again.
I would say that exercise is very important, and we should definitely do exercise at least half hour per day, because that's why we can maintain our body.
Okay, that's wonderful. You actually answered his question. But then coming back to your question, I will be answering that, and you will be, once you hear the whole speech out, you will get your answers, GT and Bella. Thank you so much. So I was talking about how they implemented, the IG Punjab implemented this regime in their as part of their whole officers pool. So whenever I used to travel outside of Pakistan, I always used to admire, their officers, so fit and so fine. And I always used to wonder that their institutions, their clubs, their organizations, they, of course, they do uplift them, they do want to add this element which is not so evident. So they do push their people around for this thing. And I think this is wonderful. But then the question comes that if somehow our organizations or our government or our institutions
Hello.
don't push us, then
Hello.
then what is that thing that
Can
can
you
push?
please call me back after half an hour? I'm in the middle of a meeting.
Is that
Can
a
you please
question?
call me back? Yeah. So can you please call me back? I'm in the meeting, okay? Yeah. I'll sort it out. Thank you.
That's what. So we just continue. So the thing is that if nobody pushes us, then what can push us? What can push us is our own self. After all, as people say, change starts from within. If there is no one to push you around, then you have to get up, you have to move, you have to get it rolling. Now, I want you to reflect on our routines. What were our routines before COVID? We used to get up in the morning, have breakfast, and rush towards our office, sit in our luxurious cars or whatever transport we go, and then we reach office and have a 9 to 5 routine. And if we don't have, then we sit for more overtime and work there, and then come back, and then sleep, and the whole routine comes up again. So now the question lies that if our routines are so messed up before COVID, and just look at our routines right now. Muslims all over the world, they are observing fasting these days. And since because of that, and because of COVID also, we are all restricted at our home. So what question, a wonderful question asked by DTM Talha, that because of COVID, we are all restricted at home, what should we do? So I'm going to tell you exactly, take hold of those opportunities. Take hold that if you have a good street and good people or good neighborhood around you, go out, walk in that street, go around the house and walk, have something at your home, maybe a mini aerobic session with your family members, with your kids. I'm sure they will be. And then moving onwards, look at the food that we have. The food is so oily and it's so sweet and so oily. I mean, even in Ramadan, people are having those oily samosas and pakoras. I think once in a while it's cool, but then having it every day, people might seem, they would be like, it's okay. But then gradually, once you keep having it, you will get to know how unhealthy and how sick and how much rate of illness that will put you in. Coming to the disadvantages. Now, I don't know if you all have heard, but according to NHS, National Health Survey, they said that they compared lack of exercise as deadly as smoking. So what does that mean? That means that if you don't exercise, that's equal to you inhaling so many of cigarettes. And that's just disastrous for us. That's just disastrous for our immune system. And when coronavirus came, what it initially said was that it won't affect or hardly affect people who have a good immune system. But then we are damaging it ourselves. How? By not exercising, by not putting ourselves in a physical routine. You know what happens when we don't exercise? Our muscles start to decompose. We start to weaken all these muscles.
I have a question to you, Murusa.
Sure.
How can the muscles decompose?
Yeah, so a very interesting question. I'll tell you how it is. Is there any other question?
That is the only question. I mean, come on, think of it. Muscles can't decompose until you're dead.
Sorry, come again?
Muscles can't decompose until you're dead.
Okay, thank you. A very interesting question. So just stick with me, I'll answer your question. Now, muscles do decompose. How they decompose is that once your muscles are meant to move, otherwise God wouldn't have given you it. So it's very important you use it. Now, what happens? If you don't use it, you'll also start, if you don't exercise, you'll also start to become breathless. And as we say, that in order to be more energetic and to ensure enough vitality in you, you need to move your muscles. After all, God doesn't give anything to human beings without any purpose. There's always a purpose for every muscle, every organ, everything in your body. Now, coming to the point, I was talking about how important is exercise and how if you don't do it, what illnesses can come to you. For instance, you could get heart diseases, you could be prone to cancer, you could be prone to strokes, you could be prone to insomnia, you could be prone to depression. Now, depression is one of the leading causes. And why I say that is because once you do exercise, there are certain hormones in your body that start to release. Those hormones, they are called endorphins and they're called adrenaline. And there's a rush of it in your blood. And once that happens, you start to feel happy. And in order for us to get over this COVID-19 stress, TM Asghar told us about all the, things about what happens with us when we are stuck in this loop of anxiety. So it is very important, connecting to TM Asghar, it's very important for us that we should add this element. And now, more than ever, it's very important Why? Because we're stuck at home.
I told you not
So
to call me. I'm in the middle of the meeting.
according to, I went to a workshop at Marriott, and people asked me that, in fact, I asked them that, what is that one thing that if you add it in your lifestyle, you're going to get that edge? And they all said, maybe, we would love to add some sports or some activity. And I said, do you actually do it? They said, no. So I had just 2 pointers, which I could probably lay out to all of you. And number one, stop making excuses that you don't have time. Stop making excuses you don't have equipment. Where there's a will, there's a way. I know there are Toastmasters here, probably 2 of them who I know, and what they do is very remarkable. What they do is they usually go out for cycling, and I'm really inspired by it. So even when you are having your fasting, right after fasting, maybe go at the night, rent a bicycle. Now there's a trend everywhere. People are renting, people are buying cycles, and they're going out and they're hanging out with their bicycles and they're using those muscles. It's very important. Another thing I started, which probably you guys will be like, oh, she's crazy, but I started tennis at my home, playing with the ball. I know it's funny, but I think many professionals, they do start out first with the ball and then each other with the players. I discovered talent within me, and I think it's remarkable. Like after COVID finishes and we are back to our routines, I think I found my true love, that is tennis. So yeah, so an interesting thing I read somewhere, and I would want to share with you all is that it said you don't want to be the richest man in the graveyard. And that was so, it just gave me those goosebumps. I mean, we are all running, we're all busy after our lives, wanting this, wanting our desires, this and that. But then imagine yourself in living in a palace and all those riches, but suddenly it's time to, you're finally bored. And how would you feel? You've had all your riches and all that, but then you yourself are prone to all those diseases just because you couldn't add just a simple thing in your lifestyle. So I think that's just insane, and we should all just probably, take care of this thing and add it in our lifestyle, and so that it gives us an edge, gives us this energy, gives us this vitality. So after all, I just, as earlier also I've said it in meetings, and I'll say it again, that we don't want to make leaders only. We should make leaders who are healthier and fitter. Thank you.
Okay, that was a wonderful speech by the rising star of our Karachi Toastmaster Club, Madam Toastmaster Urusa Mohsin. And our next speaker will be TM Azam. And his speech will be evaluated by Madam Toastmaster Urusa Kawal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bakar. Toastmaster Azam will be giving his speech titled I Am Fortunate, and his project title is Understanding Your Communication Style. The purpose of his speech is to learn about different communication styles and identify his own primary style. So, over to you, Toastmaster Azam.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, but let me pin the timer. Well, I'm going to deliver the first roof of speech. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear Toastmasters and guests, I am fortunate or unfortunate that I had to go through the CA training of 3 years. I'm telling with the perspective of merits and demerits I faced. I started the CA after the completion of ACMA. And due to my good educational background and my passion of learning, I was noted by the partner of the firm. And I was fortunate or unfortunate that I became the engagement in charge just in my first assignment. I went to the client with the team. I conducted the assessment of the work, and I made up my mind that I will surprise everyone by completing the assignment just in 1 month. On the next evening, I received the call from the manager of the firm. He said, "Hello, Azam. How are you?" "Fine, sir. Everything is fine." "How it's going?" "Everything is scheduled, sir. I need to send the boys on the next assignment. So complete the assignment within 2 weeks." "Within 2 weeks, sir?" "Yes, 2 weeks is enough time." Then after I sat down, I revised the estimated time of different activities and revised the plan. And interestingly, I completed the assignment within 2 weeks. The important thing I noticed was that manager was much more knowledgeable and educated than me. And he knew that the team he deputed on the client could have completed the assignment within 2 weeks. The manager in this communication was decisive, competent, and independent. This type of communication style is known as direct communication style. As per the Toastmaster International, there are 4 communication styles: direct communication style, persuasive communication style, analytical communication style, and sportive communication style. The environment of the firm was highly disciplined, and most of the time I learned the direct communication style there. Dear audience, most of us are fortunate or unfortunate to have a spouse. I think no one can imagine a direct communication style with the spouse. And actually, there are two type of person in this world. One who says that they are not afraid of the wife, and second, who are very honest and never lie. To have a good matrimonial life, one should be energetic, enthusiastic, fun-loving, and this type of communication style is known as persuasive communication style. And most of us, including myself, are very used to of this communication style. Dear Toastmasters, I am fortunate or unfortunate that I became the audit manager of a big firm, big manufacturing company in a very young age. I'm telling with the perspective of merits and demerits I faced. It was very hard to raise the audit observation on the very senior departmental heads. I could have been only successful if I would be very logical and accurate in my communication. Like why the hand scan attendance system is better than manual system. Why the check payments are better than cash payments. Why the automation is better than manual system. This type of communication style is known as analytical communication style. And most of us, including myself, use such type of communication in our official correspondence. Similarly, few months back, we were trying to make a Toastmaster club in our organization, and we were trying to convince the people by giving the logic through the analytical communication style. Like your communication and leadership skill will be improved. You will have a you will follow a study program, proper study program. You will be more social. You will get the international certification. So we convince the people through analytical communication style. Dear audience, I am fortunate and not the unfortunate that my father was a voracious reader. He has a bookshop, and his room was also like a small library. He was a Hafiz Quran, and he used to recite the Quran with meaning. Throughout the of our life, we siblings have a lot of good lessons from him, like be helpful, be kind, don't be negative, help others. Such type of communication style is known as sportive communication style. And I have a high impact of his personality on my life. And that's why my dominant style is sportive communication style. Though sometimes I used to be direct, sometimes I used to be persuasive, sometimes I used to be analytical, but my dominant style is sportive communication style. And I believe that this communication style have a positive impact on the people connected with me, like my family, my colleagues, my staff. I always try to motivate my staff through helping them and through supporting them. And at home, I'm also a very good husband due to my sportive communication style. Dear audience, at the end, I am fortunate and not the unfortunate that I am the part of this Toastmaster activity. I am telling with the perspective of merits, and merits only. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Toastmaster Baka, unmute yourself.
Okay, sorry. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Azam Ali. It was a wonderful speech. Now, we missed one of the participant, TM Hibarais. TM Hibarais, are you there?
Yes, is my voice audible?
Yes, perfectly now. And so our next and the last speaker is Madam Toastmaster Hibarais, and her speech will be evaluated by Madam Toastmaster Anam Qadri.
PM Hiba Reis would be presenting her her project from the CC Manual Project 10, which is Inspire Your Audience. In this project, she's going to inspire this entire audience personally, professionally, emotionally, as well as spiritually, relying on the emotional, heavily on the emotional appeal. Her time duration is 8 to 10 minutes. Over to you, TM Hiba Reis. Best of luck.
Hello, Toastmasters guests. I would like to begin by asking everyone, does everyone practice recycling on a daily basis?
To be honest, no.
Yes, be honest.
Now
Okay.
you're, yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah, now you're perfectly audible, but when you were speaking, you weren't.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. So, environmental pollution is a buzzword nowadays, and it's a hot and discussed topic nowadays. This is because human activities and company production creates a lot of wastage. This wastage is harmful for the environment. This becomes a problem because it releases poisonous gases and fumes which disturb the environment and carbon dioxide layer. Over the years, human activities have tremendously affected the natural environment of our Earth, which has resulted in severe climatic changes, which we have seen throughout the world through media. And recycling is something which is done out of trash. By trash, I mean we can recycle any sort of old paper or cardboard box and make it something into new. Recycling is mainly done by machinery in the developed world. However, in our part of the world, it is mainly done in a more traditional and conservative way. The Raddi paper walas and the vendors buy stuff from us on an individual basis and sell it to other people, as well as we can see the Pathans who pick up stuff, old bottles, papers from the end of the road and sell it off to groups of people. Recycling, in my view, should be done at every level, from an individual level to an institutional level as well as offices. Recycling also means that we end up preserving and conserving resources for our future. This means that if we use the existing products material enough to produce a new way, we end up saving the resources to be later used in the near future. Recycling is mandatory mainly because it helps to reduce environmental pollution. Obviously, when we produce less production will take place, and as a result, less pollution happens. By less pollution, I mean less fumes wastage is created, and as a result, the environment would remain more clean. However, a sad reality is that plastic, especially in Pakistan, we end up throwing plastic in rivers, oceans, seas, and in our nearby surroundings. This ends up killing a lot of animals, and in the past few years, we have seen the cases of whales, big whales, being washed up in shores, and later we end up seeing that from their stomachs, big polythene bags come out. Again, this is human activity which is disturbing the natural environment, a sad reality. Further on, recycling also helps to improve waste management system. Obviously, when less waste is created, municipal authorities find it easier to manage the waste systems, and as a result, effective waste management, in my view, it is important for countries to have an effective waste management system so that they could ensure a safe, secure, tidy future for the future generation of the citizens. Recycling also helps to secure economic. Recycling also helps to secure an economic activity for the entire economy, because through recycling, people get jobs, that is from picking the garbage from one place to another, or even distributing the garbage in different categories in recycling machines is at every level labor is required, and this labor ends up being paid a wage or a salary, which in turn ensures them an economic living in the future. Recycling also, in my view, helps to reduce the cost of production of a company. Obviously, when the same product is used, product material is used, this reduces the processing cost of the material, and as a result, the overall cost of production falls of the company. Also, recycling also helps to save upon energy. Obviously, when we use the existing products material to produce a new product, we end up saving upon the processing cost of the new material, and as a result, when a new product is produced, 30% less energy is consumed to produce the new product. And continuing on, when resources are conserved and preserved for the future, this increases economic security. By economic security, I mean that the country can ensure a stable and safe economic future of resources, which we save in the existing situation to be used upon at a later stage. In the end, it is a process. Recycling is a positive process which has brought about positive impact on our society, and the initiatives that we should take upon as an individual to bring about changes in our environment are: firstly, we should reduce hoarding, that is, we should buy whatever we want, and should not buy in excess of whatever we want. And then, and if we hoard, we end up wasting a certain amount of goods or services, which is destructive for the environment. And also by recycling, by taking a certain initiative to preserve the environment, we should also ensure a proper waste disposal system in our country, especially in Karachi. It is evident that we see garbage everywhere and not proper waste disposal systems. So for our government, it is better, it is for our government, they should take the initiative to develop a proper waste disposal system so that the people, the individuals, the companies end up disposing the waste in a proper manner. Otherwise, if they do not, poisonous gases, fumes will be released, which would be harmful for the environment. Also, when if the waste is not disposed of properly, a look of untidiness comes in our environment. Our environment is not cleaner. Also, I would also say that countries such as Pakistan should reduce the wastage or reduce the usage of plastic. This, like other Western countries, we should use more of paper and cloth bags in our daily life and in our daily chores. This would help to reduce upon the because plastic, as I've said earlier, is something which cannot be decomposed of easily, and it takes time. And it is also harmful for the environment, and it releases poisonous gases in the environment. Last but not the least, I would conclude by saying that in the past few years, we have seen that organizations such as WWF and Heritage Foundation of Pakistan have emerged, securing the stable environmental future of Pakistan. They work for the causes of environmental causes which have occurred in the past few years, and we should help them in every way possible. And this way, because they end up working for the welfare of our society. And we should also encourage our friends, relatives, and neighbors to work as groups to work for such environmental causes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster Hiba Rais. So here our prepared speaker session is ended. So I request timer that can you please share that everybody qualified for votes or not?
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Bakar. Only Toastmaster Raza was over his time. He took 8 minutes and 47 seconds. The allotted time was 5 to 7 minutes. Rest of the speakers are qualified for voting.
Okay, so I request Mr. Vote Counter to disseminate the Google form so that we can have vote counting of prepared speech session. So let's move towards the last segment and very important segment of our Toastmaster meeting, that is evaluation session. And for the evaluation, I invite the general evaluator of today's meeting, Toastmaster Imran Rana.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Bakar. Actually, general evaluator was Toastmaster Babar Ali Hassan. Due to technical problem, he is unable to play the role of general evaluator. So let's start general evaluation. The capacity to learn is a gift. The ability to learn is a skill. The willingness to learn is a choice. So fellow Toastmasters and guests, in general evaluation, we are going to highlight where we have to work upon, and we also highlight the stronger area where we can make ourselves more stronger. So let's start our first segment, that is evaluations of prepared speeches. Our first speaker was Toastmaster Asghar, and he was evaluated by Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir. I request Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir to please share the evaluation of Toastmaster Asghar. Over to you, Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, good afternoon. Today I was assigned with a very difficult task to evaluate the speech of the winner of the Evaluation Contest 2020, and he's none other than Toastmaster Asghar Ramzan. Toastmaster Asghar Ramzan is our champion and eloquent speaker of Karachi Toastmasters Club. So it's always good to hear him whenever he's speaking. Toastmaster Asghar Ramzan, you started off with a situation as to what this pandemic has created all in the worldwide and the whole worldwide. So you explain the situation as to how the people are rushing to the stores to buy the guns for their safety and security because they fear that due to unemployment, due to lack of resources, there will be a chaos and there will be anarchy. You also further explained us another situation as to how people are doing panic selling in stores, and the toilet paper you gave an example as is now out of stock. You further explain as to this situation, the problem is being created in the minds and as we are overthinking it, as you yourself is overthinking it, and these are the three reasons which is creating severe anxiety in individuals who are closely looking at this pandemic situations. You also explained as to how this pandemic is going to create changes in our lives. You gave a perfect example of the future funerals which were happening after the Spanish flu some 100 years back. So, the content of your speech, I must say, was absolutely marvelous, and you covered all the aspects, and we loved the content which you spoke about. Regarding the body language, your eye contact was amazing because your eye contact, you're constantly looking at the camera, you were constantly looking at the audience, and your eye contact was perfect. Yes, a slight improvement in the facial expressions. Like if I give you an example, like panic shoppers, some eyes should have lit up, and the face, the panic should have been created on the face. Your hand gestures were excellent and amazing. You handled your hands pretty well. Your stage movement, of course, thanks to the online meetings, we all are limited to the stage movement. So this is a kind of situation which we have to live with it. So since the camera is there, you have to stay in the camera. So the stage movement will of course be limited till the time we are doing the online speeches. The tone of your voice could have been managed well. Like it should have, the pitch should have gone up in certain sentences and should have come down. What I felt, the tone of your voice was on a similar tone, and you completed your 5 and 6 minutes in the same voice tone. Overall, I must say that your speech had covered all the aspects. Slight body language improvements could have been done, like just I explained, like facial expressions, the stage movements, and the tone. Overall, I must congratulate you for an excellent project, and I wish you good luck for your future projects as well. It's always good to hear you, Toastmaster Asghar, and carry on with the same zeal and same enthusiastic and do entertain us. Thank you so much. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir. Moving on to our next speech evaluator. Our next speaker was Toastmaster Raza Khan, who was evaluated by Toastmaster Mariam Arif. So please welcome Toastmaster Mariam Arif.
Am I audible? You will shine, and health comes first, not wealth. One of the few a few of the many lines that Toastmaster Raza used in his speech and truly inspired the audience, leaving everyone in awe, I'm sure. So I liked how you numbered the three qualities that you wanted to talk about and also shared relevant experiences and anecdotes to justify those qualities that you were talking about. How your teacher was a very helpful person, helping everyone in need, about that lunchbox incident you shared. So you told us about everything that your teacher, in ways that your teacher inspired you and helped us and shared these things with the audience as well, so that they can also get inspired by that. And I also liked how you ended with a prayer, and that was that. With that said, I could say that you are a very confident speaker, and you had an amazing structure of the speech as well. But moving on towards the points that you can improve upon is, firstly, according to the requirement, I was supposed to also judge on the occasion of the speech, but I did not know about which occasion it was because it wasn't mentioned anywhere by the speaker or beforehand as well. So I could not judge you on that, whether it suits the occasion or not. Also, I believe that it was mentioned in the manual that you were supposed to mention 5 areas, but according to your you numbering it, it was only 3. So I guess this was something that was missing. Apart from that, I hadn't. I believe that you were a bit underprepared, because I could say that because firstly you couldn't manage your time well, you went over time. Then also I could guess that you were using notes or referring to some external aid, because your hands could tell me that, and you looking at, apart from the camera, somewhere else other than the camera, could tell me that you were referring to some notes. So that is again not advisable. So that is something that you can improve upon. And also, I felt that how could you improve on your time? You could use your time wisely by eliminating those unnecessary repetitions. Like at times you repeated same lines, and at times I felt that the health as well was repeated many times. So similarly, there were many things that you repeated. So that can be eliminated to help you manage your time, and also use a bit more adjectives and a bit more detail to improve your speech. Also, you can use body movements to improve your speech, and also add a bit of more expressions, like when you said smile, but I couldn't see that smile prominent on your face. When you were remembering your teacher, you could have showed some emotion of remembering your teacher. Or when your teacher was telling you, Raza, health is wealth. So show that your teacher has the wisdom to talk about it, and show that should reflect in your expressions as well. Or you could show your expressions and say, ah, my teacher gasped. And then you could continue with your speech. So adding a bit more expressions can add a bit more flavor to your speech. And so with that said, to summarize, I believe that it was a very inspirational and interesting speech, very well organized, but you can work a bit more to practice your time and practice a bit more before your speech, make body movements and express yourself as much as you can. Over to the general audience.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Mariam R, for such a detailed evaluation. Moving on to our third speaker, Toastmaster Hari Prashant from Canada. He will be evaluated by none other than distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid. So I request Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid to present his evaluation. Over to you.
Thank you, impromptu journal evaluator. This is the impromptu table topics evaluator speaking. Am I audible?
Perfectly.
Okay. Okay. Toastmaster Hari Prashant. Try again in a different way. First of all, let me tell you that you have got a beautiful voice. I'm sure I speak for everyone when I say that your voice is like a black hole that sucks all our attention as soon as you start speaking. That is an asset, and you know to use it very well. And it is rich, it is deep, it is expressive. So congratulations on using that asset to the fullest in this speech. You started in a very absorbing manner, daddy, and yes, you were taken back to your childhood because the tones of your voice conveyed the dialogue, conveyed the setting perfectly. Brighter star, your gestures were there. It was very three-dimensional, which I loved. Your expressions while conveying the father-son dialogue The expressions match the characters you are portraying. And again, that is taking advantage of this camera to the fullest. Congratulations on that. Your gestures, your flow was amazing. And that shows that you were extremely well prepared. And that's the only way to approach a speech, to be extremely well prepared. Congratulations on that. And some of the things that you said uh, really struck close to all our hearts. For example, we always assume that life becomes easy once you get to the next level. You know, in school, we are taught that, you know, just go to metric or O levels, and then everything will be a party. And then we are told that, you know, going through college, once you get through college, everything will be fine. But no, it gets tougher and tougher and tougher. And that's what you conveyed very well. A few improvement areas. First of all, you were sitting, so maybe next time try standing up for the speech. That adds depth and variety to the speech. That adds much more scope for gestures. At certain points, your picture or audio was cut off, but nothing too major. But forgive me if I have missed some crucial aspect due to that. And what I fail to understand is why we all use this gesture for calling. That belongs to a phone from 1920, not 2020. And we all use it. So perhaps, like, since we are all using cell phones now, how is that similar to this? Because this is actually supposed to emulate the telephone receiver of the landline phone. So maybe we can, you know, try all, and this is for all of us. We can try to get with the program and try to use this gesture or something like that for cell phone. At certain points, there was slight monotony in your speech, and I believe that was only because you were sitting down if you had stood up. And lastly, falling in love, the feeling that you conveyed, amazing expression. Overall, you did an amazing job of inspiring us. Congratulations on your project.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid, for such a wonderful evaluation. Moving on to our next speaker, Toastmaster Hiba Raisan was evaluated by none other than Toastmaster Anand Kadri. Over to you, Toastmaster Anand.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. The recycling should be mandatory. Hiba Rais, you spoke it, you did justice to this topic. Listening to your speech, I just was thinking what it reminds me of. And basically, have you seen a prism in which you cast a white light and it disperses out in different colors? Your speech was like that. You actually gave the word recycle to that prism and it drifted out the colors of how you can manage it governmentally, how you can manage it individually, how you can make ways individually as well to improve your recycling methods, and plus how you can go on a collective level to recycle up things and what actually are the benefits of recycling in all. So your speech had all the content. The content was really good, really well rehearsed and well practiced, well presented and well researched. The only thing that I found, especially I like that scientific research about how you found out about the whales that came on the shore and they were all contaminated with the recycled items. So that was well researched. One thing is that when you are giving off such speeches in which you have to give off some scientific and some researched work, it's advisable that you either prepare a presentation to grasp the audience attention. Because normally what happens is that we have a normal attention span of about 7 to 8 minutes, maximum 10 minutes. So we tend to lose interest in things that are just there in monotones and are just presented vocally. So for next time, if you would incorporate a presentation, a brightly colored presentation to grab the audience attention, or you could incorporate any story or any event that could add a little change to that related to the topic, but that could add a little colors to your speech. That would have been awesome. In fact, it would not have, it would have grabbed the audience attention from the beginning till the end. I like the way that you were trying to come out of your notes and you were trying to say things out looking straight ahead. So that means you are moving over towards perfection. That's a very good step. And the like listening to your previous speeches, watching you previously speak, I found it a great improvement that you are now trying to come out, because trying is the best thing that you can do, and that helps you come out of the things really well and really quickly. Overall, Hiba Race, it was a great. Your speech had great content. It had a good message of how recycled things could bring a change in our lives and how it could be incorporated in our daily lives to help us come out of our shortcomings. Thank you so much, Ibaris. Best of luck for your next project.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Anam Kadri, for your generous evaluation. Moving on to our next speaker. Our next speaker was Toastmaster Urusa Mohsin. Could we have Toastmaster Babar Ali Hasnan? Is Babar Ali Hasnan with us?
He's having some issues with his internet Zoom app.
Okay, so Toastmaster Urusa, Babar Ali Hasnan will send you your evaluation through email. Is it okay?
Yes, that's fine.
Thank you very much. Moving on to our last speaker, Toastmaster Sayyid Azam, the president of Century Toastmaster Club, was delivering his project. So I request Toastmaster Urusa Kaval to please share your evaluation.
Thank you, Toastmaster Imran. Toastmaster Azam gave his speech, I am fortunate. And he had fortunate and unfortunate, merits and demerits in a rhyme, which was the catchphrase. And it was a very good thing that he used throughout his speech. The best thing he did was he elaborated on persuasive communication, analytical communication, direct communication, and supportive communication, and linked it with very specific occasions in his own life, which is actually it was a very good and different way of doing it, and a unique perspective. However, you also told us how you came to find your own connection with supportive communication. Let me tell you, we all find our communication styles very early in our childhoods. And you came to find your own supportive communication style the same way, which is and any changes that happen are pretty much picked up during our adult lifestyle. So supportive communication, that is a very good thing that you told us. The content, I would say you put out the content in a very logical manner. However, what improvements I would like to see is maybe you could have used a Bluetooth headphone, because I saw your movement a little restricted. You were trying to do a lot of things, but your headphone kept getting in the way. The roof was a very good idea. Keeping in view the light, you were very clear. And however, just maybe the space that you were standing in kept your hand gestures this way a little restricted. So just keep that. Maybe that's the only improvement I would like to ask you for. Otherwise, congratulations on completing the project.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Urusa, for such a wonderful evaluation. I request Toastmaster Urusa, all the speech evaluators qualified. We didn't hear you.
Except for Toastmaster Ghulam Kadir, he took 3 minutes 40 seconds.
3 minutes and 40 seconds. Okay. So I request vote counter to exclude Toastmaster Ghulam Kadir, and rest of them are qualified. So I request vote counter to please share the link. Moving on to our next segment, that is table topic evaluation. And for table topic evaluation, we have an impromptu table topic evaluator, none other than distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid. Over to you, Toastmaster Talha.
Thank you so much.
Toastmaster Tala, would you tell me how many speakers were there?
Today we have so many presidents in our meeting. I wish we had known before so we could have assigned more roles to them, but never mind. I'll try my best. We started with the Toastmaster Shahs from Las Vegas, and in typical like keeping up with where he comes from, he appeared very relaxed, very easygoing, and he started the speech very easily. And that's one thing that that is an advantage with native English speakers, that they just get into it without really having to think about it, unlike us ordinary mortals. Uh, there was slight monotony in his speech in certain places, but uh, he addressed the topic very well. And it's a very amazing coincidence that he also wanted to be a linguist, because the table topics master also happens to be a linguist. So nice synergy there. Then we had TM Rabia from all the way from Taiwan. And zero G. So it seems she was operating in zero gravity, because she was so peppy, so full of energy. She had the clarity. So everything was perfect except for one thing, and that's my pet peeve with all the table topic speaker today, that since most of you were sitting, so maybe that certain energy that could have come was missing because of the sitting posture. Then we had Toastmaster Mansoos. And you know, when you were asked this question, I would imagine that you would answer all of them. Which book you would like to take? All of them, because I know how much you love books. And again, you had your little nihilistic touches to the speech, away from humans. So your first aspiration seems to be that you want to be an astronaut, and the second would be to be stranded in a desert island. Guess what's the most common attribute between the two situations? You're away from all humans. So again, you were just sitting, and that took away some of the energy. Otherwise, superbly done. Then we had Toastmaster Mariam Arif. As always, very tough to evaluate, because she manages to cram a whole novel's worth of thoughts into 2.5 minutes. Your delivery was perfect. Your thoughts were very intellectual. Just the act of you holding the mic took away from some of the impact of the speech, because that hampered your gestures. Then we had Toastmaster Mohammad Imran, another president named Imran, but not our president of ICMA. And so you got straight into it. You had superb confidence, you had loudness, you had smiles throughout the speech, amazingly done, and you had a flow. The only thing was that maybe there was slight monotony. There could have been more ups and downs during your speech, but again, the topic was superbly addressed. Then we had Toastmaster Anam. So again, you're confident, you were loud, you're perfectly audible to the audience, and obviously to me. And yes, you address the topic very well, but maybe the flow of your thoughts could be slightly better. At times you appeared to be battling between too many things to say, but other than that, superbly done. Then we had Toastmaster Deepna, and yes, even before you started your speech, I knew what your table topics answer would be, because you say it like it is. You don't hold anything back, and you didn't do that today. Again, it was a personification of who you really are, your table topic speech, and you're so refreshingly honest and to the point. You don't put up airs, and that's your biggest strength, and that gives you a flow, that gives you the confidence, and and one thing that I noticed, that you had a smile in your voice, not only on your face, but in your voice. So that's something amazing to have. Again, your posture suffered due to sitting. And lastly, not in that order, but we had Toastmaster Hari Prashant. And you use your strengths, again, of being superbly expressive, both in terms of facial expressions and in terms of your voice. And very few people have an expressive voice, and you use it to the fullest degree. Congratulations. And again, if you had a slightly different posture, you could have stepped away from the laptop a little bit. You could have had more room for gestures, etc. It would have been great. But overall, amazingly done. And with that, I hand over the charge back to our journal evaluator.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Talha, for such an amazing and wonderful evaluations. So that comes to an end our table topic evaluation. Now it's time to have reports from our facilitators. Our first facilitator was Toastmaster Arshad Khan, who was the word master. So I request Toastmaster Arshad to present his report. Over to you, Toastmaster Arshad.
Thank you, Team Imran. Uh, uh, Today's word is pragmatic, but